Emma Parker was 34 years old, a single mother whose life for the past 2 years had been a slow-motion unraveling of stability and hope. Her ex-husband had vanished without explanation, leaving behind mounting bills, a dilapidated apartment and a relentless 2-year-old son, Liam, whose crying could pierce through any barrier of exhaustion. That rainy Thursday night she realized she had no formula left for him. Every store in her neighborhood was closed and online delivery was hours away. Hours she did not have because Liam would not stop screaming. In a panic she grabbed her phone, her fingers trembling, and typed a desperate message. She meant to text her friend Sarah asking for $50, but in her frazzled state she hit the wrong number. The message read, "Hi. I know this is weird, but I really need $50 for formula for my baby. Can you help?" She hit send and immediately felt that familiar pang of regret, certain she had just exposed herself to mockery or even a scam. Minutes later, a reply came, not from a friend, not from a stranger laughing at her, but from Jackson Albright, a 45-year-old billionaire CEO of Albright Tech Ventures. A man notoriously elusive and media-shy, often referred to in business circles as the ghost mogul. His reply was simple, compassionate, and utterly unexpected. "What happened? Are you okay?" Emma froze, staring at the screen, her mind racing with skepticism. But then a notification chimed, a bank transfer alert. $5,000 had been deposited into her account, along with a message, "For Liam. No strings attached. Please take care of him." Tears blurred her vision as the weight of her struggles momentarily lifted. She was skeptical at first, wondering what the catch might be, yet something about the tone of the message, the human concern beyond the wealth, felt genuine. For the first time in years she sensed that someone saw her not as a failure, but as a person capable of resilience. That single act would set off a chain of events that would completely redefine her life, her understanding of trust, and her sense of possibility. Within days, Emma found herself standing before the towering glass headquarters of Albright Tech Ventures, her son Liam in a stroller, rain dripping from her coat onto the polished marble floor. The building was imposing, its sterile beauty a sharp contrast to the cramped apartment she had called home for years. She was greeted by Ava Reynolds, Jackson's chief of staff, a poised woman in her late 30s with a quiet authority that both intimidated and reassured. Emma was taken on a tour, passing through corridors lined with cutting-edge technology and meeting teams of analysts and developers working in synchronized harmony. In the center of it all, Jackson had prepared a fully equipped nursery for Liam, complete with bottles, toys, and a small crib that seemed to have been selected with painstaking attention to every detail. Emma was stunned. This was more than financial support. This was understanding. Jackson later met her in his private office, a space that felt simultaneously austere and warm, and explained that this wasn't charity. "I'm investing in someone with integrity and the ability to rise under pressure," he told her, eyes steady. He offered her a temporary position as a financial auditor, flexible hours that allowed her to care for Liam, and compensation that would stabilize her life for the first time in years. As she accepted, Emma felt a mixture of exhilaration and fear, the first real hope she'd felt in a long time, but also the awareness that she was stepping into a world far beyond her previous experience. She would soon discover irregularities buried deep within the company's accounts, payments to non-existent vendors, approvals made under ghost credentials, and financial flows that twisted through shell companies like labyrinthine tunnels. Jackson admitted that he had suspected internal corruption for years but had lacked a trustworthy partner to uncover the truth. Emma's arrival marked the turning point. Her personal desperation intersected with corporate intrigue, setting the stage for a complex, dangerous dance between morality, survival, and ambition. Every decision she would make from that moment on carried stakes far beyond her own life. They could affect Jackson, the company, and even the lives of employees who had unknowingly participated in a system of deceit. As Emma dove into the auditing process, the full scope of the internal fraud revealed itself. She traced the movements of funds through a Delaware-based shell company called Trinex Solutions LLC, disguised behind legitimate transactions and authorized by employees using ghost credentials to bypass standard compliance checks. Each discovery brought both exhilaration and terror, the thrill of uncovering deception and the fear of retaliation. It became clear that Vincent Harmon, the CFO, had orchestrated this scheme over years, siphoning millions while threatening anyone who approached the truth. Jackson cautioned her repeatedly. Secrecy was paramount. Yet Emma could feel the tension building, the stakes growing higher with every passing day. Threats became veiled comments in meetings, emails appeared mysteriously in her inbox, and pressure mounted on Jackson's office to maintain appearances. At the same time, Emma's confidence surged. She was no longer merely surviving, she was leading, uncovering, and confronting corruption head-on. And here for a moment I want to pause and thank you, the viewer, for staying with us so far. If this story has captivated you, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because there's much more to come. Don't forget to check out previous videos. They add context, depth, and more twists to the narrative that you won't want to miss. Returning to the story, Emma and Jackson devised a calculated plan to confront Vincent, gather incontrovertible evidence, and prepare for public disclosure. Vincent attempted to intimidate them, offering Emma personal incentives to abandon her investigation, but she refused. Every piece of evidence she unearthed further solidified Jackson's trust in her, and their professional partnership deepened, underpinned by a shared commitment to justice. In this high-stakes corporate chess game, Emma realized her resilience, intelligence, and moral compass were not just tools for survival. They were weapons that could topple even the most entrenched corruption. The tension reached its peak when the press learned of the internal investigation, threatening to explode in a scandal that could redefine both public perception and corporate governance at Albright Tech Ventures. Emma's bravery, once motivated by desperation, had now become a calculated force driving systemic change. Months later, Emma Parker's life had transformed in ways she could never have imagined. She was appointed head of internal audit at Albright Tech Ventures, leading her own team, implementing stringent compliance protocols, and shaping a culture that valued transparency and ethical responsibility. Liam thrived in the secure, nurturing environment Jackson had helped create, and Emma no longer worried about basic survival. Her focus was now on shaping a meaningful future. Jackson and Emma's relationship evolved naturally, grounded in mutual respect, trust, and shared experiences. It symbolized the possibility of partnership without power imbalance or dependency. Reflecting on her journey, Emma realized the profound lesson embedded in every twist and challenge. Life-changing opportunities often emerge from moments of vulnerability, but it is courage, integrity, and perseverance that convert chance into lasting impact. And now, I want to leave you with this. Think about your own life. What risks could you take if fear weren't in the way? What truth could you uncover if you dared to act with integrity? Share your reflections in the comments. Tell us what lesson you've learned, what feeling this story evoked, or a memory it brought back. Engaging with your thoughts not only helps you process, it also builds a community of viewers inspired to face challenges, confront injustice, and find resilience in adversity. This story is a reminder that sometimes a single text, a single act of kindness, or a single courageous decision can alter the trajectory of life in ways we never imagined. Thank you for watching, reflecting, and being part of this journey. Your engagement matters, and every like, share, and comment keeps these stories alive.